The truth about this space of high ticket sales is a lot of you get sold a fucking dream. You get told that you're gonna come on and make 10K a month within the first 14 days or 30 days. And a lot of you are naive because you're new and you haven't been in the space long enough to be able to vet offers. So what I'm about to show you right here is exclusive to my paid students in how I help them and how I teach them to go out there and vet offers to make sure that they are not being sold a dream. So this is a pretty expensive gift that I'm giving y'all, so I better get a couple thank yous in the comments. But through today's video, you are gonna learn how to vet offers, what to look for, where to find these kinds of offers, and the red flags that you should run away from as far as the metrics. And if the offer you're looking for checks these boxes, then you'll know you're in good hands. So stay till the end if you don't want to waste 6 months trying to prove the concept to a business owner who you really shouldn't have been selling for in the first place. And if you get any value out of this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so at this point, now you know how to find offers. But most offers are shit, guys. Most offers are a waste of motherfucking time. So now we're going to talk about how do you actually vet these offers? How do you know what is and isn't worth the time, right? Where you are or are not going to make the money that you want to make. There's 3 things that you look for here, okay? Social media presence, there's the business info, and then the student success and market credibility. So let's start with social media presence. This one isn't a huge make or break, because obviously a lot of offers run or ads, like paid ads, don't have to have a massive following, but there definitely should be something on their page, right? They should definitely look like they use social media. Like, remember, people are looking you up. So it's still key that they have something and they don't look like a weirdo. If their page is bare bones and it does not look trustworthy, you're just gonna have a harder time closing or setting for them than needed, right? Like, there's internal and external things, and the internal things is stuff like your ability to sell, skill set, but there's also external things. Like, I once sold for a dude, really good guy, right? I sold for a dude who had an $8,000 program and he just had cats and memes all over his Instagram. Again, great dude, but his leads were coming from paid ads. So when his Instagram is full of cats, mind you, this is the Instagram that they're clicking, it doesn't look good, right? And then I and the other closer, we just had a really hard time because they'd be like, dude, I looked your boss up and you just look like a fucking weirdo. So they were very skeptical, made my job much harder than it needed to be, okay? So that's it with social media presence. Now, the thing about this though, is a lot of times people get super wrapped up in like, oh, do they have 100K followers or 50K followers? And it doesn't matter that much. Like, dude, I've seen offers with people who have 200K followers make like 10K a month, right? Offers that have 5, 6K followers that make $1 million a month. So don't take this as the make or break end all be all. And this is something that I used to do as well early on, is I used to take this as like, they have to have a big following. And I learned very quickly that that's not the case. So that's number 1. Number 2, business info. This is really fucking important. You need to make sure that this business actually has their shit together and has the potential for you to hit your income goals. Don't just take OTEs at face value. Do the math and see if it's actually possible. We're gonna go through a much more detailed checklist towards the end of this when we talk about interview questions for you to ask them. But at the very bare minimum, you need to get the last 90 days of data of how much cash was collected and then how much cash collected per closer, because this is gonna tell you your average commission structure. So I'll give you an example here, right? Closing example, right? Let's say they're doing 300 grand a month with 3 closers. On average, that's about 100 grand a month per closer. Now, there could be a closer doing 200 and then the other doing 50 to 50, but on average, that's 100 grand a month per closer, which means on average, reps make 10K a month on that team. Okay, let's take a setting example. 300 grand a month, same 300, with 6 setters. That's 50K a month per setter, and if you're getting 5%, then that's 2,500. Obviously not much, depending on what you actually want, but like 2,500 is probably not gonna be much, right? It's definitely not gonna be much. Like, as a setter, you wanna make at least like 3-4 grand a month as a phone setter. So this is how, they could talk about OTEs all they want, but this is how you vet it. This is how you know what the actual fucking OTE is, what people are actually making. And again, I have a whole list of questions that I'm gonna walk you guys through later. But the next thing is show rate. Like, if the business has a fuck show rate, it's gonna be really hard for you to make money. So I'll give you an example. Let's say they have 200 book calls in a month. At least 120 of them should be showing. A lot of times a show rate being fucked across the offer is an offer problem. So this is key as well. And if it's below 60%, then there has to be a plan to fix it. Again, more on that later. The refund rate should be less than 5% over the last 90 days. Like, more than 5% of people are refunding, and even that's like fairly high, but if more than 5% of people are refunding every 3 months, they're probably running a shitty business. You don't want to be part of a shitty business, right? Another thing is average cash per deal has to be at least 5K, unless the commission structure is above 10%. So like I once sold for an offer that was like 3,500, but it was 15%. So 5K, so you're making at least 500 bucks a sale to make it worth it for you, okay? The next thing is student success and market credibility. This is also very important. This is very fucking important because you want to make sure, like, same thing I said earlier about like the refund rate, making sure you're not selling for shit companies. You want to make sure you're selling for good companies. So that means that they are actually fulfilling and students actually get results. So when you take everything that you're learning in this program and you shank these people and you help them make a decision to move forward based on all the in-depth psychology you're learning, you can sleep at night because you know you're doing something ethical. You're not fucking people over. You don't want to feel that way. This is something I can say on every single offer I've worked with, have been with very high integrity people. You also want to make sure that they don't have a shitty reputation in the space for scamming, for not paying their sales reps. That's really important too. When it comes to student success and market credibility, how do you find that out, right? One, check your network. Ask the people around you, do you know about this company or this business owner? Also, do your due diligence. Don't just take it at face value because things happen, but that's important, right? There was one time I was considering selling for an offer, okay, true story. And someone close to me told me that the manager's like an impulsive liar. I'm like, what do you mean he's an impulsive liar? She's like, yeah, the dude lies a lot. And I was like, okay. And then I asked someone else who knew him, said the same fucking thing. Mind you, I don't know the dude. Said the same thing. Oh, that dude be lying. Now, I could have, he seemed like a good guy, right? And I could have taken that and maybe given him the benefit of the doubt. But if two people who have not consulted amongst each other have the exact same opinion about you, I'm gonna assume it's true. And I'm not gonna put myself in position to see if it's true or not. Fast forward a couple years later, I don't even think the dude's an info anymore. So I don't know what happened to him, but I will say that me doing my due diligence and asking the people around me about this particular company / business owner saved me a lot because he's not even in the space anymore, right? Another story is this offer owner, I don't really know where he is now, but just seemed super shady, right? He seemed super shady in the way he talked about clients, the way he talked about how he fulfilled. Everything was very vague. It was a credit repair offer, so like I was very new. Everything seemed very just vague in how he actually helped people. And I took that gut feeling and did not sell for him. And then I went and looked him up, and the dude has a history of identity theft. And credit repair, you need to like get people's identities. You need their social security, you need all types of shit. So was it true or not? Who knows? But there was an article saying that this dude got in a lot of trouble for identity theft. I can't sleep at night shanking people for someone who has a history of identity theft, right? This is really important, guys. You don't want to sell for shit companies. Research the offer, right? How long have they been around? Do they have Trustpilot reviews? If so, how are they? Obviously, Trustpilot, Reddit, shit like that, we take it with a grain of salt, but look at the actual, like read them. Is it people saying, oh, I signed up and then I never heard from them, right? Like, and multiple people saying that. Or is it just like some readers on Reddit? Do your due diligence. What kind of social proof do they have? Can you find testimonials anywhere, right? Funnel hack them. Opt into the funnel as a prospect and see what they see. By now you know how to find an offer, how to vet an offer. Now we're going to talk about how to interview like a boss. So by now, you know what to look for in an offer, how to vet them, what kinds of metrics to put them up against to know that you are not going to waste 3 to 6 months being sold a dream by an offer owner who thinks that a closer is going to sell his business. If you got any value here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I still have a few more slots left for one-on-one coaching students. I work very closely with every single person, and the main premise is to help you, it depends on where you are, helping you get placed on the right offer and find your home, or if you're already on a good offer, helping you succeed there and equipping you with the skills to not be on a good offer but at the bottom of the leaderboards, or be on a shit offer at the top of the leaderboards, the 60% close rate, making $3 grand a month. So that sounds like you, hit the link in the description, see if you qualify. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.